he's a Renaissance man.
You're a good writer.
He's a novel writer.
He
writes.
Sorry,
he directs.
I'm totally
He has a
hyping
podcast.
you up.
How close did you get to getting a PhD at Yale?
Well, I had to write my dissertation, which is either really close or not close at all.
Hello, I'm Angelica J. Bastian, coming to y'all from the Vulture Spot here at Sundance. I'm here with the director, writer, producers, and cast of See You When I See You. Why don't we start by giving audiences who haven't seen the film a little idea of the project?
Film is called See You When I See You. It's an original story by Adam Cayton-Holland. It's based on his life, and it is about how he and his family dealt with the tragic death of his younger sister, and actually how he overcame PTSD when at first he didn't even know what that was.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, conversations around mental illness have become culturally more prominent. What conversations did you have as filmmakers and actors about handling such sensitive subject matter and striking the right tone?
I think with mental illness, it's a lot of times really painted in black and white. And for someone who went through watching someone suffer from it and ultimately losing someone to it, it's not black and white. It's all very gray. Mm-hmm. And I think the person gets painted rather one-dimensionally. It's like, oh, they were so tortured. Nope, they were tortured. They were funny. They were happy. They were sad. They were a human being with all of the range of emotions. And I think in depictions of mental illness, it's never that. And I thought, if we're going to tell this story, we got to tell it how I actually felt it, which was just the complexity of the human experience and not just mental illness.
Were there any tropes or approaches any of y'all were very conscious about trying to avoid?
There are a lot of sequences in the film that at a cursory glance might be referred to as flashbacks. Is my least favorite thing in movies. But these experiences, these PTSD experiences that were happening to him, they actually were happening in the present. They're not flashbacks. It's you're doing your life and then all of a sudden you are experiencing something completely different. And that was, I think, probably the biggest breakthrough for us in terms of how to create an original sense of cinema and an original sense of storytelling from the inside out as opposed to looking at it from the outside in.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, yeah. Even like slugging it, interior Aaron's psyche, it's not a flashback. It's inside his brain.
You should say what Kumail, what advice he gave you.
Kumail gave the best note when I was writing. He said, "Don't name your character Adam."
Yeah, but here's my question for you. Then you go with Aaron?
I know. Trust me, we talked about it. We didn't know if we should bring it up to him.
That was, yeah, I hear you. That was, my parents were debating between Adam and Aaron.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, and my dad was Team Aaron, and my mom said, no way.
Oh, your dad finally got his wish.
Yeah, he finally got his wish, so yeah.
Nice. Obviously, a film like this really lives on its cast chemistry. How do you develop the feeling of a family with your scene partners?
And I didn't meet you until I rapped in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that's
That's
so we
movie making.
we don't believe in time as a linear concept. So the bonding was preemptive. But it's all in the writing, really. The writing is going to display, and the directing is going to display whether a family is a family.
I think everybody here is extremely close with their families and feels a responsibility to them. I'm very, very picky about my casting, and
Yes, you are. That is correct.
I am insanely picky. But every time I do it, it pays off, and all these people are just extraordinary human beings who I knew would fundamentally understand what we're trying to do here, not just in terms of telling a story, but what we were up against as an independent film.
What about Jay as a filmmaker made you approach him for this adaptation?
As Adam was saying, talking about mental illness itself, it really encompasses the entire breadth of human experience, every single emotion that a person can have. And we'd done like little stuff together, but whenever I ran into Jay at a party, I always loved how soulful he was, but also how funny he was.
We were talking a lot early pandemic because we're both got I'm immunocompromised. You've got that in your life. So we were trading stories of being,
That's right.
of staying inside. We were doing that a lot.
I mean, I feel like this movie really is about how the fuck are we gonna do it?
Yeah, and the tone of Jay as a human being is very similar to the tone of this movie, which is, in the same breath, you have to be emotionally open and vulnerable and then funny and occupy, all of that at the same time. And Jay, as a person, has that.
But Jay, you brought up something that I have found myself returning to in a lot of my conversations here at the Vulture Spot, which is what is the purpose for art and human creativity in a time as dark and uncertain as this?
It was something that we kept talking about in the very early days, the four of us, was that even the smartest, most deft brains can't fix a broken brain. And I think what we're all experiencing is that, we cannot fix this intellectually. We cannot fix our relationships. We cannot fix our country intellectually. We cannot, it has to be done with love, and it has to be done with a leap of faith. Kind of just like jumping off a cliff and hoping that there's like warm blue water down there and that's not just like rocks sticking up.
Yeah, you
But
really
sometimes
don't
it's
know.
rocks.
There are
Sometimes it's fucking rocks, man.
And then you got a broken leg.
And then you got a broken leg.
Broken leg.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I've not been following the news.
I'm very excited to have you here, David. This is.
I knew that.
We knew it was
Once you said you knew my work, I was like, oh, then she's gonna have an idea where I'm gonna go with some of these questions. I love your podcast and all you do, but I had to ask this as an X-Files fan. For people who know little to nothing about the original X-Files run, what episodes do you recommend to them?
Do you know this is the person you should ask the question?
Yeah, this is the expert.
Because he knows more about the X-Files than I do.
You can
Oh,
quiz him
wow.
on any episode, and he'll know the season and the episode number.
Okay,
best.
ooh. Okay, because
Will you answer that question for me, please?
He had an
What's the
X-Files
best one?
podcast.
no, just like
To start with.
Starter episodes.
What's
yeah.
a good episode to kind of bring people in?
Yeah,
to
what is a
X-Files?
good episode?
I would say the pilot is
agree.
actually a fantastic
I
start.
agree.
Then you
It is
can
a great start.
jump to Squeeze, Ice. Once you've seen a few episodes, go to Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose, and then
He knows the names
when
of
you're
the
a grown-up,
episodes.
watch
The
Home.
names of the episodes.
I watched.
Why
That was my first X-Files episode.
Was Home?
that's too
it's an
much.
incredible episode, but it's a
It
lot.
haunted me.
It's so good.
That's everywhere.
You know
It
that's
doesn't matter.
actually out of the rotation. It was pulled from network television.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's horrifying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's
Well,
pretty.
it's the incest part
yeah,
of it.
pretty gnarly stuff there.
No
So I'd say
spoilers,
start with
sorry.
the incest.
So
But then, hey, it worked for me, and look how good I'm doing.
Yeah.